So what is the craziest Tinder date experience you've ever had? Like really crazy.
The most interesting stories comes from when I am severely horny.
Then the guy tells me he is a robber. He organized one of the craziest heists that happened in Sweden. I'm speaking about...
Is it the one with the helicopter?
Yes. Yes! Maria, come and tell us about this tea. What's up with the teas?
Because I'm ready to sip some tea and spill some tea because I have some stuff I need to tell and I'm trying to see what's your tea been lately. Hey girls!
Welcome to my channel. Today I have my friend Maria.
Hello!
You guys have met Maria before. Maybe they just haven't talked to you.
Yeah.
You've debuted here before.
I've been in the background
a lot.
Yeah.
Like, today we're gonna spill the teas about our dating life. But before that, just tell them a little bit about you, Maria.
My name is Maria. I'm originally from the US.
Yeah.
I've been living in Sweden for, I tell people 3 years, but I think it's been 5. I'm single. And I'm mingling.
How do you find like dating in Sweden?
It's different.
First of all, Swedish people Swedish men love Americans, so I want to hear your perspective on that.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they do. I think that I get the what I can say what I get a lot from men that I date in Sweden. Yeah. They're like, oh, you have such great personality, like you're so unique and so exotic. I'm like, when they say exotic word, I'm like,
those are things like I never
when
want
I
to
hear
hear
the exotic word, I'm just like
stop.
Yeah. So and then also it gets like, yeah, I've been like I seen if like I think the last time I went on a date with a guy, he was just like he's not ready to do like a copy and paste. So the reason why he said yes to me and pursued me and things like that is because I look so different and I act so different than what he's used to. So the last like
I don't know if that's a good thing.
Yeah. So he's like the last 3 or 4 girls I dated, he said he realized that they were like a copy and paste of each other. So he's like leaving relationship because he's not being fulfilled, and he's getting a relationship with same girls that look just alike, act just alike. There's nothing new. So he's like, for me, he was like, yeah. So it's like
different.
Yeah. So it's like, damn. It's like, what if I'm just as bored as them? So I don't know. So I think it's like them mostly testing the waters, almost like let me see what this like, because my love life has been so bland.
Has been so bland. Like I've been dating these tall, skinny, blonde women.
Exactly.
Now it's time to try some cars. Then I go back to the tall, skinny, blonde women and say I tried this. Like just as part of the dating CV. It's so messed up.
Yeah, but I think that's since I was married for like 5 years as well. So it's like since I'm single for the past 2.5 years, I've really been like trying to enjoy being single as well. And I think that's the key. Like I have like a couple friends who are also like single and they're looking for the one and like this perfect guy right away. For me it's just like, I'm going to meet you, let's see where it goes. If something good happens, it happens. If it doesn't, at least I got amazing steak dinner.
You know, I love that. Like I love to hear, especially black women, speak about dating from a point of I'm enjoying my single life, I'm enjoying this, because I feel like a lot of us, or a lot of women, black women, get this messaging that like dating is so hard and all these guys just wanna play you. And like, girl, if you went there for a good steak and had fun and like, it's good.
It's good. I think I'm also super aware of like the red flags. I'm super aware if I can meet a guy a few times, like I know like when there's nothing going to come from it. Like I know like for me, like this person is not speaking to my soul. But do I enjoy this person's company? Yeah. Can I see myself going out on a little weekend vacation? Yeah. Can I see myself having like a really good Friday night hanging out with this person? Yes. But do I see this man to be my husband and to spend the rest of my life with? No. And until I start to feel like if this guy hits me, I'm gonna say like, hey, are you free tonight or something like that, and I say, if I don't feel that like, yeah, you know what, let me put on my lipstick, let's go. If I feel like it's like, okay, now it's time for me to cut this person off because I don't want to waste his time and I'm not even excited to see you anymore. So at this point it's over. And I think when you come from like dating from a perspective of like, just let me enjoy it and just see what comes. And
I guess maybe something me and you both share in common is you are married for a while We were married for a long time, and I was also in a long-term relationship. So when I was single, it was more like, I'm here to enjoy this. Because I've been here, I've seen what it's like to be in a relationship for long. So now it's time for me to like kind of experiment things, see this, see that, see that. And when I tell you I experimented, Maria, let's get to some juicy things.
So it's time to sip tea. Are we ready? Okay, it's time to sip some tea. So I think that comes from like, would that like follow some tea? We sip some tea and then the tea gets spilled?
Yep.
Let's do it.
First of all, Tinder, okay? I have 2 stories I want to tell you, but I also want to hear some really juicy stuff. So what is the craziest Tinder date experience you've ever had? Like really crazy?
Oh, you're asking me first.
Yeah.
Most of my crazy Tinder stories stems from like, you know, when you've been like dating for a while and it's like been like a little break in between your life, and you're like, okay, at this point I want someone to touch and rub my body. And of course, like normally when you're dating, you have like you have your super high standards. You're like, yeah, let's date, let's see before I give my cookie away, let's see where it goes and this and this. And I think like the most interesting stories comes from when I am severely horny.
And it's been a while.
Yeah, when it's been a while and you're like, you know what?
You've run out of your battery with a vibrator, whatever. Or you lost it under your bed and you're too tired. The knees are tired to bend under the bed.
Yeah, all your standards, all your self-righteous, like all of this stuff is just like dropping. It's like, you know what? I need someone to rub my butt tonight. Like smack my ass, do something.
Yeah.
So I think the most interesting people that I have met comes from me being like super on.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is just like, of course, I was dating, but I'm not sexually interacting with guys like I should be. So it's like, okay, so you're like swiping and swiping, like, okay, this guy. So in my mind, I've already made up my mind that the guy that I'm going to match with in the next couple days, this is going to be the guy that's going to get lucky. Like, this is going to be the guy that's going to get lucky. And yeah, so that's the tea. Like every few months there's a drought, and then there's some lucky guy. You might think, okay, I'm gonna give them a taste of ooh la la. And so I meet them, and sometimes when I meet them, I have already decided, like, okay, you don't even have to do anything. I have already decided that I want you to be this person for tonight.
Right.
And so the thing is like, it's so funny because sometimes I already decide, like, I'm going to meet this guy, we're going to go to dinner, and I'm going to take him home. Done, done, done. Yeah. And the funny thing is, like, they actually start from here in the beginning of the date. But after we're dating or like we're having dinner, it's like, nah, I don't want to do it. Damn, he just fucked up. He's not getting done. So it's like they are so bad, just like in conversating or whatever, that they loses out on something they didn't even know they had the right to give. Like, I was gonna give this to them, and they just like, yeah,
but don't you think that it's really hard talking to guys? Like, if you ever want to be turned off by a guy, try speaking to them.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Don't talk to them. If you want a guy that you just want to hook up with, please do not test their intelligence, because their intelligence will.
So that's where I went wrong. I'm still rusty at this hookup culture type of thing. Maybe that's what it is. It's like I decided, like, no, I'm going to pick you on Tinder. I'm going to meet you and I'm going to take you home. But then it's like I pick them, I meet them, and it's like I can't do it. So the thing is, I talk to them, and that's what it was. That's why I talk to them. Then that's it. Lesson learned. So now I know what to do in the future. Yeah, that's just like meet and go straight to the bed. Like
most men, that way they don't have the capacity to hold intelligence conversations that is enough to like turn you on and make you want to be with them that way. Normally they just turn you off by the I want an exotic girl. It's like fine.
Yeah, that's where they ruin it. It's like So that's my problem. I have to just like meet them and just go straight to the. Okay, let me write this down for later.
I stopped hooking up with guys at all, completely, but here's why. So I was going through a phase where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be celibate. But it wasn't because of I'm trying to be pure or whatever. It wasn't worth it for me, okay? Oh no, maybe I was through the phase of do not give them the cookie until they commit. Yeah. So I was celibate, let's say 3 months, 6 months, and almost like a year into this thing, okay? And then finally I met this guy with the most massive, like I never seen like that in Sweden. I swear to God, like I walked looked around, but like I never, like I feel like Swedish guys are very disappointing in that department. I've accepted my fate. It's like that's not their ministry.
You have adapted to the size of the Swedish market.
So I met this guy, and he is really good. Like, so I decided to, like, you know, give myself away to him, and I was so disappointed, Maria. Like, that guy could not hold it for 2 seconds, and I was just like, oh no.
Wait, he was let me just make if I heard correctly. He was the biggest you have ever seen in Sweden.
Yes, I've seen a lot. Yeah.
He's packing. You meet him, and it was, did you say 2 minutes or 2 seconds?
Yeah, he didn't even last 2 minutes.
Oh no.
I know, Maria.
All of that was just wasted.
I'm a victim, Maria.
A victim of deception.
Yeah.
Like how
a really disappointment, I swear. You know, but after that I just said no to Hookup, because I felt like hookups are never worth it for me, and most Swedish guys really suck at least they're not very good in that department until maybe you get to know someone better and you've had a couple of fails. So one night stand,
no. Yeah, I can say it took me a long time to have one night stands, because I'm the same way. I need like feeling based, because I come from relationships. Like I was with I only had 2 really great exes from age 16 to 21.
Right.
No, 16 to 24. I was married from 25 to 30.
Right.
So for me, the hookup, and like that's probably why I enjoy being single as well.
Right.
Because I just been in like 2 super long-term relationships my whole life. So it took me a while to just like try to hook up with someone, because I feel like I need to hook up with a guy just for my first time, like outside of like a real relationship. And it was so weird. It's like we were trying to make out, and we were like very like robotic, like I want to put my arm around you and I want to do this, and it was just like we're doing this the whole time, we're making out, and I was just like, look, I don't want to give you blue balls, but I don't think this is going to work out. I can just like you off, because I can just like you off, and we just call it a night. I never want to be that girl to like entice a guy and then don't deliver. I know we can say no
like
at
charity.
any time.
Oh, you are the biggest charity.
Yeah, but this is like, we were trying, and the chemistry wasn't there. Like the sexual chemistry wasn't there. It's like, okay, I know I want to have sex with this guy because I haven't had any in a long time. I just want to just do it, because I never really did a one night stand or like hookup type of thing, because I just been in these long relationships, and my first time out there trying, it was just all bad. I do not recommend. And you're like, he was pretty kind about it. He was like, yeah, I get it. Like, all right. And I was like, look, I tried to just, you know, get back out here. I'm not ready. And he was just like, all right, I get it. But I think he felt the weirdness as well, because we were making out, and the kissing wasn't right. Like, I was like, can I do, like, it just wasn't right. So I think he understood. But so it's tricky when it comes to like one night stands. But after that, I got better.
You got better. Okay.
I got better after that. It took a while.
Stands.
Yeah, it took a while. Well, not really one night stands, but
like
to date, to have sex with someone without having to have like what I think I have to have, like all this
commitment.
Yeah, very. I think when you grow up in a way of like knowing how you should have sex with someone you love, and when you grow up with that, you get embedded in you. It's so hard to just flick that off, and really just have sex just without feeling.
You know, that is so crazy to me, because I was telling Cara earlier that, you know, the way some women they feel like when they have sex with a guy they get attached to the guys. I don't.
You don't?
In fact,
wow.
I feel like most times when I have sex with a guy I kind of get turned off by them, because most likely they didn't even do it right.
Well then.
But do you know what gets me attached to men?
What?
Words.
Yeah.
Like if they say the right things and they're intelligent, and like I just find myself so attracted to men that like I'm like, I could have just slept with you and I didn't have. So you find a guy that just is able to tell me so much bullshit, I would fall in love with that guy over a guy that I slept with.
That's probably why I like nerds as well, because I like men with big vocabulary. Not even big vocabulary, but like just a man that can say things in a way that makes you feel just like, ugh.
So for me, when I listen to like internet dating advice, like, oh my god, do not like sleep with guys, otherwise women are wired to bond with guys over sex. I've tried. Actually, I remember there's this guy that I swear to God, I did not like him at all.
Yeah.
and I tried to sleep with him so I could like him. And it never happened. I was like, why is my body? Because the guy was so good. He was really nice, but that did not happen for me. So speaking of crazy Tinder dates, now I gotta give an actual crazy Tinder date.
Oh.
And it's a whole story. Like if you want this story time, I can do it separate story time, but this was insane.
Okay, you're gonna give like a quick tea.
Okay, so I go on date with this guy, and the guy picks me up. And you know, normally in Stockholm, people don't drive cars, especially if you're meeting right in the
city. Yeah.
In the city, and the person lives right in the city. So it's not supposed to. Normally, people don't drive cars. You just meet. You're supposed to go have a drink or something, or have dinner, whatever. And if you have dinner, most likely you're drinking. So take a cab, take Uber. There's no need for a car.
Exactly.
Anyway, the guy comes to pick me up. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe this is. And then, red flag. I don't know. I didn't think so much of it. He picked me from a very public place, and I saw that he was very uneasy. So I was thinking, maybe does my pictures not look like me or something? Like I was just wondering, like, yeah, did I catfish him or something? But then I hurry up quickly, and then we got into the car and drove. So we started driving in the city. Remember, my conversations with this particular guy wasn't much. I had asked him what he does. He was like, oh, I work for Netflix. I didn't care so much. I just wanted food and maybe I might like it. So Maria actually learned my lesson. I mean it. So we're in this car, and then finally the guy's like, oh, you know, he was telling me that he's pretty wealthy, and from the car that he picked me with and stuff, he looked like he was well. And then I asked him, so how did you make money? And he's like, well, I cheated a little bit. And I'm like, oh, that's good. I also want to cheat. I'm tired of money like this. I want to make some money too. How do you cheat? Like, I'm like, as long as nobody's getting harmed, it's fine. Tell me. Then the guy tells me he is a robber.
He's a what?
A robber, like a thief.
A robber. Oh my god.
And you know, first of all, it sounded funny, and I'm like, what? Yeah. What are you robbing? Are you robbing supermarkets? That's fine. How do you rob? No, he organized one of the craziest heists that happened in Sweden. I'm speaking about.
Is it the one with the helicopter?
Yes.
Ah! Yes! I heard about that one.
Oh my god.
And so you in the car, did you like hold your purse a little tighter? Like what was like going through your head?
Yeah, I was so shocked.
Yeah.
When I tell you guys, listen, this heist was a serious heist. It's on CNN, it's on everywhere. Like, just Google schmoogle it, you'll find it.
You'll find it,
was a serious thing. And I'm speaking to this guy and my entire body goes cold. I'm sitting in this guy and I'm like, is this how women disappear?
Exactly.
And remember, this guy did not try to, like, when he came to pick me, now I remember why he was very weird. Because he doesn't want to be seen in public. And he was just driving with me around Stockholm, and I just froze. I was just like,
you never got out to go in to eat anywhere, just like driving around in the car.
And the whole time I'm like, oh my god, did I speak to my mom? Have I told this person this way? Is this the day I die? What if he gets pissed off? And I was so afraid to pick my phone.
Yeah.
Because I did not want him to potentially think I'm trying to contact the police or I'm conspiring. Yeah. So I switched quickly. I'm like, you know what? I love robbers. I think the people that do that are very brave.
I love robbers. Oh my god.
And they're very intelligent. And oh my god, tell me more about it. How did you do it? And it's like, yeah, we organized a helicopter. We had our masks, guns, and I'm just like. Maria, that's
interested.
That's a whole story time, Maria, and
we're gonna have to find him and bring him on the show.
I don't think he will come. But they've written books about it.
Yeah,
there's a lot of it out there.
Oh, that's crazy.
That was crazy.
I mean, I think you did good to at least just act interested. Like, I would be like, open up the car, rolling out. Open the car door, rolling out the car door. Like, I would know what to do.
I thought about that as well.
Wow, crazy. Well, I can't top that. I don't have any like crazy stories really.
Maria, I was just in so much shock, and after that I think I quit Tinder and I went straight to Bumble. I was just like, there is no way I'm staying in this app.
No, see, I don't think I like Bumble. I downloaded Bumble, but the women have to reach out first.
Right.
I don't like that. So that's why I'm still on Tinder, I think. because I can swipe right, and if we connect, if the guy doesn't reach out, then it's like, we never.
On the other hand, I also think that most men on Tinder don't get replies from women. So they go on Bumble because then the woman contacts you first. So at least there's surety of contact from the women.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense, because like once the women contact you, you pretty much open to know like this person will continue the conversation.
When it comes to Swedish men and commitment from Tinder, like how is it for you?
For me, I would say just like know yourself. I think like when you connect with guys on Tinder, like really, it sounds cliche, we look for the red flags, but like really know yourself and know what you want. And if you like want a relationship and a commitment from a guy, just know that from the start. I mean, when you know what you want, people can see it, they can feel it, and when you verbalize it, they understand it. So like when you having these dates with these men on Tinder, once you verbalizing like what you want, not saying, you know, you tell the guy on the first day, I want this, this, and this, but after a few days, after a while, it should be pretty clear of like what you're looking for in another guy and what they're looking for. And like really just be clear with what you want and know what you want. So when this guy is not really giving that energy or giving those things, it's like, okay, this can be a potential person, cut it off. Like don't keep holding on to something or wondering like, but I like him, it's the first guy that I've been on 5 dates with, like even if he continued to like interact with you and see you, if he's just not checking those, I don't want to say boxes,
but like what you need.
Yeah, if he's not checking what you need, like move on. It's not the end of the world. He's just not your person, and that's okay. And I think a lot of times what I see with girlfriends that they meet on Tinder, they have so many bad Tinder dates, and when they meet a guy that finally calls them back, when they finally get these reoccurring dates, it's like they're settling almost, but this guy doesn't even fit with what they actually want. Then you're just going to end up being in a relationship with a person that just happened to just call you back, you know? So for me, it's just like,
Hookup and like, okay, here's the one.
Yeah, it's like, just don't get caught up in like, he's the only person lately that has been showing me interest. Just be like, I think that once you get to the point, once you know what you want, continue to go after what you want. And people that, I would say like sometimes people come into your life for short periods. Take that. Let them leave. And it's okay. It's just, for me, it's like, if I know what I want, I'm going to keep dating until this person makes me feel how I want to feel every day. And until I get that, I don't mind going through, so it sounds bad, so many men or so many days. It's like, okay, this is fun, but you are not what I want in the long term. It was nice. I would say like,
actually,
like,
you know what I think? I think that the more dates you go on and the more guys you see, the less you get attached to that one guy that maybe was just nice to you and ghosted you, because then you realize that there's so many options and there's so many people who could potentially like you or that you could potentially like. It stops you from hanging up on one, like being hung up on.
Hung up on like one person.
You know, in the beginning I used to think that dating Swedish men or like dating in Sweden was so complicated, or like Swedish men in general were so complicated, and I thought that it was because I'm African.
And maybe we also had that conversation together.
And maybe most of these guys are just so weird towards black people, whatever. And then I started to listen to my Swedish friends and their dating shenanigans with their Swedish men, and I was like, damn, I have it real easy. I was so shocked at the stories these women have.
And I would say what shocks me the most when I speak to like Swedish girlfriends is that they're not even truly in love. Or like truly happy. It's like when they speak about their significant other, it's out of convenience of like splitting just the bills or like being able to afford an apartment in Stockholm. It's like, he gets on my nerves, but you know, we've been together for 5 years, I'm not happy. Like they're complaining about this person, but the just convenience of being together with a person is what I notice has been like a trend. And it's like, but if he's not making you happy, like why are you sticking with this? And I mean, like,
you know, that's a really shocking thing for me, that for instance, if a black woman is with a guy for convenience purposes, they will say you're a gold digger.
Exactly.
In Sweden, it's almost like every other guy you see with a guy, they are there for convenience purposes.
And then it's like the way they verbalize it is quite. I mean, when we talk about apartments here, I remember having a chat with a girl. She was like, oh, the thing is, like, you date a guy for 6 months, move in together, buy an apartment together.
Yeah.
Like, don't move in together, buy an apartment together, stay for 6 months, and then break up and sell the apartment. And then you will get the money to put down on your own apartment after that relationship is over. Like, this was like solid advice.
Yeah.
This was like solid advice from a Swedish person. I'm like, if my black ass was the one to tell another girl, okay girl, let me tell you what you should do. You should meet a guy, buy an apartment together in 6 months, buy the apartment, wait 6 months, break up with him, and then put the apartment on the market. And then when you sell the apartment, you will have your money for a down payment for your very own apartment. That they would look at me like, what type of advice is this? But, but to hear that from a Swedish person, it's like, and she's like, you do it when you're young, so you can already be situated by the time you're older.
But you see, that's the thing. Like most Swedish girls, you find that by the time they're like 19, 20, 21, they already have their apartments.
And you're like, what?
And most of us at 21, 18, 19, 20, you're just finishing school. And then you have all these people that are already so calculated from the time they were 16.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure their parents told them what to do.
Exactly. And like divorce here, it's very normal. Breakups is very normal. Nobody is shaming you for it. And you can be on your third marriage and say everyone is just fine with that.
Or the not marriage at all.
Not
like
marriage,
the simple thing. Like you be together for 25 years.
Yeah.
And like, oh, you're married, but you're just roommates. Like, no. Like, who? I'm not giving no man 25 years of my life and don't put no ring on it. Like, no, we're not doing
But
this.
I do feel like maybe our attachment to romance, I'm attached to romance, okay?
Yeah, me too.
Our attachment to romance has been to an extent detrimental to our financial freedom or our financial destiny. Like, if sometimes you just put your need for romance and all this fairy tale on the side, and you are at a higher, you most likely be. I feel like I'll be cancelled for this.
No, I think it's the conversation needs to be had, because I'm also a very romantic person. I mean, if you look at my Instagram, it ends in fairy tale. Like, I believe in happy endings. I believe in fairy tales. And I know it don't go without work, but I can never be in a relationship where there's no love, where there's no passion, where there's no, like, I can't, you know? So like you said, we put that attachment to like love and fairy tale aside, I could have been married to maybe a few men.
Me too.
That could have financially put me in a situation that I would be very darling.
I think that every year I have like at least 5 guys who I could have ended up in that situation with.
Yeah.
But I am completely incapable of being with a man who I can't look in the eye, have conversations with, and kiss. I am incapable of calling that my husband.
Exactly. And I think that's when you think about being with someone, you don't want to, of course you want that security, that everything as well, but you also want a life that's worth living. Like, if I tie myself down with this person because he can financially give me everything that I want, but he can't make my eyes sparkle, he can't bring me joy, he can't make
don't worry darling, the Chanel will sparkle your eyes.
Exactly. I mean, it's like, I feel like, why have I passed up so many opportunities? But at the same time, it's like, that's not what I want. I mean,
I think it's nice to speak about all these options so everybody can decide for themselves, because I feel like there's this other side that is overly represented on social media of like women just like literally just teaching you to go out there, use guys.
Very high value men,
high value feminine, whatever. It's overly represented here, but I think it's important to give people more of a realistic view on how that looks like. And most times your feminine goddesses are the most miserable people at home, because the men they've chosen to be with are men they can't look at and they can't kiss. Period.
That was good. Let's drink to that. That was some piping hot tea. I mean, I can admit that I also briefly got sucked into this feminine type of thing. Has it helped me in some parts of my life? Yes, because I am African American, and you know, when I'm dating, I am straightforward. Like, it's like, what? Like, no. You know, like I can say stuff in this tone of voice that can break this man's ego.
Yeah.
Like I can demolish you with my words.
Right.
And I had to realize like the way I say things to my significant other shouldn't be like that.
Right.
You know, like I can really like destroy you with my words. And it's like once I do that, I have no like respect for you. Or it's not even about having respect for them. It's just like I know I can damage this man's ego with my words. And once I do that, he will never feel good. Yeah, he would never feel good afterwards. And I know I have to like watch what I say. And I learned that through like really getting to know myself and how I would like my significant other to receive me.
Right.
And that took like, I mean, this like more like generational stuff because I have watched, you know, family members speak to their significant others like this, or you know,
even
like
your parents literally speak to you like that.
Yeah. I mean, we have our way, we have our slang, we have our culture and the way we speak. But I can say like my dad was a man. You know, like my dad was like, and I think that's what it is for me. Like I can say, I don't know what I can say. It's just going to be posted. I'm just going to say my dad was like the man. He was like the provider of the family. My mom never worked. My mom never had a job. But she was well taken care of. I mean, we had everything we ever wanted. So my dad was like the provider. So when we talked about like really providing, for me, it's not really providing like luxury bags or shoes. It's really like having a man come home, have a roof over your head. He's there with you and your family. Like he's just not there showing up when he wants to, but he's there. I don't know. It's just like when I think of a provider, I kind of picture my dad in my head. So when I meet a man, it's like I have been raised by a very generous provider type of man in my life. It's like if a man that comes into my life can't do the same thing my dad have done for me and my family, it's going to be very hard for me to really be my soft self. And I learned that too. I realized like when I was with my child's father, I guess I have a daughter, when I was with my child's father, he wasn't that man, right? You know, but I was 16 and I was in love. Oh, 16. I was 16 and in love, and I would say that he never provided me area where I can just rest. When I was with him, I was working 3 jobs. I was a mom. I had the house. I was like doing everything. Young. Yeah, I was really young. And you know, he had 1 job. He was home with my daughter more than I was home with my daughter. And it's like I could never respect him in that way, and I talked to him in that manner because I never saw him as a man. So like even when I moved forward from him and been in another relationship, I would talk to my ex-husband that way, and he would just be crushed. But after a while, he showed me a way of living and a way of being where I can just be so soft. I don't have to be this tough person or really this and that when I have to really work on like how I say stuff, because this man is doing everything that I could ever imagine. He's so soft, he's so caring, he makes me feel safe. And those qualities, even everyone thought I was a gold digger for dating him. The way he made me feel like that, so soft and so caring, and I had to really learn how to watch what I say to him.
But Maria, don't you think that women being so hard tend to be like a coping mechanism?
Oh yeah. It's something that's definitely learned from like passed down stuff, and it's something that we are so used to and so naturally had visible in our lives that we think this is the right way. But when you find a man that makes you question or make you think like, you know, you don't have to be this hard with me.
I think I can say the same about my fiance. I think he's really taught me how to just, no, you don't have to be. Like you can actually just relax. And it's not about playing a role of being like, it's just more like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah, like just genuinely fine.
We can talk about something that is complicated in the most gentle way. And nobody has to be hurt and nobody has to be blamed, and it doesn't have to like be chaotic and crazy.
And that is so refreshing, isn't it?
It is. It is, because I had a sharp mouth too, hand. I could cut. And I could cut with my mouth for
and
sure.
This is what I say, like when you make a commitment to find a husband or someone you want to be with, it's more about how they make you feel and what they bring out of you. This man can have the most money in the world, but he can't make you feel at ease.
Safe.
Exactly. But this man, on the other hand, you know, he has a job, he has stable income, he has this, he's not giving you like $1 million, whatever the case may be. But the way this man make you feel in his presence.
But do you think that it's true that different men bring different sides of you? Because I'm sure there's some men who can testify in the court of the Lord and say that this woman is the devil incarnate. And someone else would be like, she is the angel incarnate. And I was with the same girl with both men. Do you think that different men bring different sides of you? Or
Most
you just
definitely.
stable? You are stable. I'm not.
Most definitely. I think different men brings out a different side of you. It's just like, yeah, it just depends. I would say for me, I am a different person depending on what type of man I'm with. I remember I was dating a guy, it was like years ago, and I was dating a guy who was in a biker club. Like he drove motorcycles, leather jacket. And here go my ass buying leather pants. I'm like this badass biker bitch now. It's like, wear my leather jacket if I want to ride the back of the bike, you know? Like, yeah, then I can meet a man who also loves golf. Here I am, okay, let me find my little cute golf outfit. Let's go out.
But that's actually the fun part of dating, because then you meet different men and maybe you get to try out different things and see. It's part of even getting to know yourself.
Exactly.
Because we're kind of just expected to know ourselves without
you learn that through dating as well.
Different versions of yourself that maybe you wouldn't.
And I won't say that I was like trying to fit into these people, but I took their interest. The interest that they had was different from any other man that I dated. So if I meet a man who's into like motorcycles, if I meet a man who's into golf, I meet a man who's into like just traveling or just different interests or in technology, my whole experience with each of these men is different because they have different interests or a different like life path. Like, you know, when I say like they have guys that want to do like very, like the guy I'm dating now, he's very, should I mention? Okay, it's like he's very like, he likes to find restaurants that's very like cozy, a whole different, like based on the men that I have dated. In fact, this is a whole different type of feel that I get of men. You know, like I just get a different feeling from him because the things that he's into and how he likes stuff is totally different than what I've been used to lately. And so I just been enjoying like finding these really cute like little cozy little restaurants that are like charming and like behind the scenes not a lot of people go to, and I like it.
I think essentially when you like somebody, at least from my personal experience, it doesn't matter what we are doing. It doesn't matter.
That is true.
But the moment I have extremely high requirements of you, then I don't like you. But now, Marie, I want us to speak quickly about the types of things that you think, okay, this is a red flag. If a guy does this or says this, it's a red flag. I'll go first.
Okay.
If a guy tells me they've dated an African woman, a Swedish guy, it's a red flag for me.
Really?
Yeah. Why? Let me explain myself before I get cancelled. I feel like most, especially African women, are very resilient, and they will stick through things. They will stick through, like they will. If you're a nice guy, like there are few cases of psycho, but most generally, if you're a guy that is, let's say, a provider, nice, caring, it's very unlikely that you will just wake up and mess it up and leave.
Yeah, because black women in general, we gonna stick beside her.
So if a black girl, they don't sit right beside you, I'm not there to discover that part. No, bye. So I'm sorry, but no.
So pretty much if an African woman been with this man before, if you say, oh, I've been with an African woman for this many years, you know damn well that this woman done stuck beside him. You know what I'm saying? She done been through the motions, and for y'all not to be together, it must be something.
I don't sit down. I don't wait to experience that. It's a red flag.
I can get that. But then, like we just said, some men bring out different things in women, but okay. But I mean,
I assume he brought the worst in her. That's why it ended. Even if she was cheating on her, even if she was cheating on him, she brought the worst in her to make her cheat. Like that's
that's the motto.
Yeah.
Okay. If I would say like red flags, I would say if a guy tells you like you're too good for me, or I don't deserve you, run. Like run. Take him by his word. Don't go, oh my God, but you're perfect. I love you. Don't leave me.
My God.
No.
Yeah.
If he say you're too good for me, I don't deserve you, baby, he's telling you the truth. He don't deserve you. Red flag, run.
If a guy tells me that, you know, I don't want to hurt you, or I don't mean to hurt you, before they finish the sentence, I'm by the door.
I don't want to hurt you.
They're about to hurt you. Red flag, run. What do you do? What do you think about that question?
They asked
knowing what you know about Sweden.
It's so tricky because I think that, like I said, we found out that Sweden is a land of opportunists. She mentioned, she was like, she have dated a guy who was like, oh, I want to date you because you look good, like you'd be good on the loan.
Yeah.
Like, so for me, I'm broke. Like, I work part-time.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It just depends. Sometimes people ask me what I do. I just say I'm a professional stalker. I tell them I'm a professional stalker, which I am.
Yeah.
And however they interpretate that, whether they laugh it off or not, I am a professional stalker.
No, but like that's another thing that I noticed was when I was a student and I would be chatting with somebody, I would tell them I'm a student, they would stop talking to me, and that thing used to bother me. But on the other hand, I also realized that the men that stuck were the men with the money.
Of course.
It sounds like I didn't mind telling people that I'm a student, and then when I started to work and like maybe started earning, I just graduated last year, so please. Like when I would tell people that okay, this is what I do, or this is how like I'm doing well, they'll be like, do you have a place? Have you bought a place? They'll always like, be interested in and then maybe when they say okay, I'm from Kenya or whatever, then they ask like, what do your parents do? Like they'll be very curious on
like are you a good Kenyan? Like pretty much though, right? Like I don't know.
How did you come here? Did you come here to study? I always say I came here for love, even though I came here for work.
I know. So I think that I think it's continue to tell but I think when you tell them that you're a student, the guys know like, okay, she's a student, she don't have much income, she probably stayed in student housing, blah 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 blah. But then when you are for a guy who wants to really pursue you and have money, he's like, oh, she's furthering her education, I love this. You know what I'm saying? They look at it so differently. So the guys that continue on knowing that you were a student, they know like, okay, she's still in school, she's ambitious, she's and I don't mind because I'm in this, I'm in a place where I can date a lady who's like in school. But the guys who couldn't afford you, but no, she won't be good on my loan because she's a student.
And those are the same guys that maybe if you tell someone, okay, I'm a student, you go out with them, but they still want to split bills with you. Like that used to turn me off so much.
The splitting bills?
I'm
not into that at all. I'm not into that at all. Actually, since I've been dating in Sweden, I have never split a bill. And I think it's because I'm so transparent with the guys that I date, that I match with. Like I said, it's like,
But at what point do you bring that conversation and how do you say it? How do you tell a guy I don't split bills with guys?
I just really say like, I'm from the US. I come from a whole different dating culture. And they're like, oh, what do you mean? I was, like they say like,
smart.
So I just say right away, I was like, it's been quite interesting navigating, this dating culture in Sweden or their lack of. And so and then they say, oh really? Like what's so different? I said, I'm always used to a guy to pursue me. Like I'm old school. I told them I'm old school in that sense. I love a good gentleman. I was raised by a gentleman, and so I prefer gentlemen. I love a guy opening my car doors. I love a guy opening and I just tell them I love gentlemen, and however they perceive that, they know like, okay, this is a woman, and I'm telling him to be a gentleman, so they automatically step their game up, or I don't know, and I usually just leave it that way, and they say like, what's the difference, and I say like, oh, I'm so old school, I like the more traditional.
I think that most men that like to split bills and so on, every time they hear that, they know exactly what it means, and they go. But it's okay, especially if you're a woman that prefers to not split bills with men and to not do like this 50-50 thing. It's just better to let it go from them and don't be attached to.
That's number one. I think I'm very vocal when I do match on Tinder with people. I'm very like, like I think a guy asked me, he's like, do you want to go for like a coffee, walking? And he suggested something else. I said, oh my God, you suggested all the things that I do not like to do. And he was like, oh wow, what would you like to do?
Do things you don't like to do, being walked like a dog?
Yeah, like
coffee.
I'm like, I am not a dog. I do not need to go out for a walk. And I catch the subway, I have to walk to you. I have to walk when I leave you. I don't need to walk when I'm with you. Like, I mean, he could have said like, okay, bye. But he was like, oh my God, what interests you? I was like, oh, I like afternoon tea. Like, you know, I was like, I love afternoon tea. I love to do this. So he picked from my thing. And I think that if he was a guy who didn't want to have a date with me, or in that fact, he would have like, okay, she don't want to go for a walk and she don't want coffee, I'm giving up. And he would never reply, and that's no love lost.
Such guys are fine actually, because they're the low effort guys, and you don't want that anyway. No,
like I said, when you want to, you just
Switch
the thing, if you want to have fun dating, why would you want to date low effort guys? What fun you want to get from being?
There's no fun in low effort. Like, dude, I can't even do coffee dates with my friends. Like, how am I supposed to do that with a guy? Like, what are we talking about? You're a stranger. Like, this is so awkward.
This is what
I need to find you attractive. Make me drunk a little bit, please.
And let me.
Yeah, I have to find you funny because you're a guy. You're boring, okay?
Like, I tell a guy asked me out for coffee one time. I said, no true love story ever happened. Oh, we went on a coffee date. Like, no real love story ever in life has been told. Like, yeah, we met over coffee and we bonded and I knew she was the one. No, it's always over alcohol. So, like,
I like Negroni and Prosecco and Tagliatelle. I don't know, whatever the heck TikTok is. Yeah. Okay, Maria, should we go make some mac and cheese with you?
Oh, it's time for dinner.
It's time for dinner. We're gonna cook.
So I think this should be like a new segment. Like, we got 3 of girls who do not cook at all about to attempt to make dinner. Should we?
Oh my God. And one is very hungry right now.
Yeah, she is. She's been very patient with us. Yeah, so let's cook. I'm going to attempt some macaroni. Alright, perfect.
Bye, girls.
I'm gonna like look back at this video. I'm like, oh my God, is that my voice?
No, your voice will be perfect. Trust me, they're used to my voice. It doesn't get worse than that.